Hello everyone, how are you? It's Molly from the Mimo Yoko! Woo! It's been a hot minute, or a hot couple of years, since I've done some YouTube, so I thought I'd do YouTube because I find newsletters a lot, and that's not really where my head is at. So let's rewind a little bit. What's happened? So if you all remember, I left the UK in February 2021, well, the 1st of February, and I left for Canada to do school, and I had to go home before the hotel thing where you'd have to pay $2,000 for 3 days and all of that malarkey. So I came back to Canada, I started studying. It was hard. My brain is not as nimble as it used to be. So I did that, and then last year was my final year, and I'd got my permanent residency in August, and I did a month of my final semester, and my brain just gave out. It's like, I can't do this. It's kind of like I just was burnt out, and I just had a bit of a breakdown. So I took some time off from that, and then started working from December. And then during that time, I've been trying to sort out my mental health because it's just been all over the place. And then, what else happened after that? I got a job at a financial place, and I thought that was what society was supposed to be about having a 9-to-5 job and having a regular paycheck. But that wasn't to be. Literally bought a house, moved in the 1st of May and got engaged. And then the following week, after purchasing our first time home and taking a mental health day on the Tuesday, I then lost my job on the Wednesday. So that wasn't a fun experience, and my first thought was like, crap, I have a mortgage to pay, how am I going to do this? So I have 3 jobs, which seems normal nowadays, which I find quite sad. So Mimo is one of them, but it is my job, but I love it, so that's a plus. I work at the library here in Revelstoke on call, and then I also work for a graphic design company in town called Science Inc. And we make people's decals, we put decals on vehicles, we make signs, all the things. And we have a good team, and it's awesome. We have a shop dog called Chili, who's awesome, and also I bake cake. So, you know, it's a great place to be, because we always have like a cup of tea and a bit of cake, which is lovely. And you may have seen on my Instagram stories my second work husband, because my first is Andrew Kitey from the Yarn Whisperer back in the UK. I miss you. But Brett Mellon, who will be coming on my podcast, because I'm going to be interviewing people, but I don't want to give all of this away in my first 3 minutes of this video. So, anywho, he's going to come on and we're going to talk about stuff. But it's just been a lot, like genuinely, and I am kind of giving myself a year and a half to 2 years of trying to get Mimo as established as I can, and if not, I think I'm going to have to rethink if this is a viable business for me, because it's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy, and as much as I love it, since moving here, sales online have not been great, and I know everybody's penny pinching, but shipping is just the biggest things. And as much as I love doing markets, I find them quite exhausting because I'm an extroverted introvert. So like, I love being social, but by the time I get in, I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody because I'm tired. So I am trying to do some bigger events. I did apply for the Market Collective in Calgary, but wasn't successful. So that's back to the drawing board. But yeah, it's fine. Like, we'll figure it out. But I am now offering flat rate shipping of $15 within Canada and the US, and I think the rest of the world. But within Canada and US, I do expedited, so like express shipping, and that's $35. And then if you're lucky enough to spend over $200, your shipping's free. So that's another awesome plus sign. But let's talk about Mimo and all the other things. I don't know. I'm going to digress. I've actually written notes to keep me on track. So, running a business is fun, but it is time consuming. In the UK, we don't have to file taxes unless we're self-employed. In Canada, you do. So I now have a bookkeeper an accountant, which I already had for my like personal stuff, but not business. So that's a fee I have to pay. Then I run my website. That's another fee I have to pay. I also have something that backs up my website, because once it was like before I did Yorkshire Live on Instagram back in the UK, I lost everything on my website, like literally everything. I stayed up and had to re-enter everything. So I pay. That's another subscription that's added onto my website. What else do I pay for? I pay for yarn, which is obviously a business expense, and I was getting it from suppliers back in the UK because I love their yarn, but cost effectively, I don't want to be paying duty at the moment because it's a lot of money, and then I have to add that on to my price of my yarn, which makes it expensive. It's not expensive, I guess, it's just the quality of it. So you pay for what you get. I always want to be able to offer people the opportunity to purchase the yarn, but again, I'm a small business, I'm not Amazon, so I can't just give stuff away. It's not viable. Like, even doing free shipping over 200 is a lot, but it means you get groovy yarn. And I'm going to be clear and transparent on this channel, because everybody's like, I want to be a yarn dyer. Do it, it's amazing, but no, it comes with costs. I did get to take part in the Okanagan knitting retreat in May with some awesome teachers and fellow people, and I got to teach ice dyeing and dyeing, and we were knitting and seeing everybody's beautiful garments. So shout out to my Okanagan knitting retreat sisters. We had the best time. Next time I think I'd like to go as an actual participant and not as a teacher, because I think I knit like 4 rows the whole of the time, but it's okay. I got to teach people to dye yarn. Definitely learning curve, and to put things in smaller containers, because it's like giving little kids sprinkles and icing sugar and say do what you wish, and it just goes. But that's a good thing. Creativity is messy, and I love that. What else have I been up to? I did a day trip to Golden a few weeks ago and did a market, and that was really nice. Golden is stunning. I'm going to be at Golden again on the 12th of August doing a night event where they've got live music and pop-up shops and things like that at the Golden Suspension Bridge, and that is from 6 till 9 p.m. on the 12th of August. I think I've got a market again here in Revelstoke on the 19th of August. Christmas, I'm not too sure. I would love to do more Christmas markets in other places, but the snow and avalanches are a big thing to think about. And I don't think about that in the UK because we don't really have snow. So yeah, those are some of my updates. So my main aim, I think, going forward for Mimo is wholesale. I do have an order actually going out to the Spinnacle Yarns on the island by Nicole. She has awesome dyed yarns, and she uses lots of dyers within the BC area and sells their yarn, which is wonderful. And I actually found out, I think I'm maybe one of the only biopocs in BC to dye yarn. I could be wrong. If you are a biopoc in BC and you dye yarn, please reach out. Let's be friends. Biopoc is Black Indigenous People of Colour, just in case you don't know what that little, I don't know what you call those. Anyway, if you don't know what that means. So my brain's not working. It's Monday morning. So so I've got some yarn going over to Miss Nicole, and I'm very excited because it's some of my best stuff. I think now that I have a space in our own home, that's my craft room, so like sewing, reading, dyeing, all those things, I feel like I can be more creative instead of being in a space that's not mine and kind of worrying about getting dye everywhere. I like have a designated space where I can get dye everywhere. So I'm like, let's do this, let's get messy. I'm going to showcase some of the yarn that I have and some pattern ideas that I think would be great if you're interested. I'm also going to talk about some books that I've been getting. Some of the things I'm advertising or talking about are affiliate links. I'm being transparent. I'll put all the descriptions, all the links to everything in the description below. If you like the channel, please like, subscribe, and tell other people about it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, which might not seem like a lot, but it is. But I would like 1,000 subscribers because it means I'm hitting audiences all around the world, and maybe it will inspire somebody else, because with all the stuff going on in the world. We need a little bit of light and positivity, so I'm here for it. Okay, dun, dun, dun. Let's talk about cake. So I work at the library. The library's nuts sometimes, and sometimes it's mega quiet. But there's a lot of expats that live within my area, and at one point I think there was 5 English people in there, and it was great. And we were all talking about things we liked, and we were like moaning in the aisles, like pork pie, oh my god, and crumpets, oh yes, cheese, like you say it. We were all like, oh, I miss it so much. Anyway, there's this lady, and she's here from Calgary, and she's helping her daughter with their 3 babies, and she's talking about this cake book. So it's by a lady called Julie Van Rosendale, and she has, I think, 12 cookbooks. And during COVID, everyone was baking, right? I think there's even like flour shortages at one point. And she was saying that she got this cookery book, and she's been working her way through it and making cakes. I was like, no way! Because apparently the bundt tin, if you don't know what a bundt tin is, it's like the circle one with a hole in the middle. It kind of looks like that. Not trying to give away. Anyway, those are becoming out of fashion, and for me, I am a granny at heart, so I was like, I need to get a bundt tin, because at the end of the day, you don't want old school practices or things to fall off of the radar. A bit like teaching knitting and passing those historic kind of things forward is important. So I bought myself a copy. It took forever. They don't sell it on Amazon. I got mine from a cookery shop in Calgary. I will link them below. I forgot what it's called. Something Whisk. Anyway, I will link them below. And it's amazing. I do love some of them. I love chocolate cake anyway. So it's like a chocolate bun. I made mine, but my glaze didn't look like that. Even though I'm a qualified pastry chef, some of the ingredients I was just winging it, and yeah, I fluffed it up a bit. But you know what? That's how we learn. So make mistakes, people. Make mistakes. But like some of the cakes are just amazing. I made an oat cake in here, coconut, like broil cake for work. I made like the banana upside down cake. What else? Yeah, the chocolate cake. I want to make the lemon drizzle. There's just so many in here. So yeah, this one. I like tropically coconutty and chocolatey cake. So like, and then I want to make this one. And basically, it's a fantastic book. So if you can get your hands on it, you should. And the You Are Human and You Need Cake. It's a kind of way of doing poetry. And it was someone had sent a mean comment during COVID to Julie, and she blanked out what it was and changed it to something positive. So I thought that was a good thing. So if you can, get your hands on You Are Human and You Need Cake. It's fantastic. Going on to another book that I have come across. What I've realised in Canada, we have seasons. Like everywhere else, but we really have seasons. So it's like as soon as it hits like the end of April, everyone's starting their starters and getting ready to like grow everything so they can like do canning and pickling and preserving. And I loves it. But I love... It's not like a granny fantasy, but I like old schoolness. I like making a cake, and I like making jams and mending things and just using your hands and not being so digitalized all the time. Even though I'm using a digital platform and we're exchanging information, when I'm not on here, I like doing things that, hence why we knit, crochet, embroider, paper crafting, you name it, that's why we do it, because we love that. Anywho, so I wanted to cook jam because I've inherited so many raspberry bushes in my garden yard, as they say in Canada, but I'm calling it a garden. And I think at one point I picked 2 kilos, like 2,000 kilos of raspberries in one night, and I ended up making like 8 jars of jam. It was nuts. So, and then what else have I made? I've made apricot and chocolate nib preserve, and then I have rhubarb, so I did a rhubarb and cherry jam. That was divine. And I gave it all out because that's my nature. I like to give out. And then I was like, dang it, I wish I hadn't, because I would have made Pop-Tarts. Like the manufactured ones you get in the supermarket are super sweet, but if you can make your own with like pastry and jam and then put a glaze on, magnifique, chef's kiss. Anywho, so I digress. I have found this wonderful woman called Camilla Wayne. She gives you recipes for making jam, and then with the jam gives you a recipe to make a baked good. So you jam and you bake. I have been sending her messages because I fangirl and showing her all the jams that I've been making, and she's like, "You've been busy." I'm like, "Yeah, I have been busy." So I will send a link. I will link this book down below. But if you can make the apricot and cocoa nib one, do it. It's decadent, darling. I'm just trying to find. I mean, some of the things in here are just beautiful. Like shortbread, eat and miss, and then kind of incorporating the jams in there within them. Chocolate roll, buns. I mean, there's tons. So it's a beautiful book. I think it's good to learn a skill that brings a little bit of summer into your winter, and that's what I liked about it. Like, preserving is basically preserving summer so you can enjoy the fruits of your labor in the winter time, because winters here are long and there's a lot of snow, frost. You feel like it takes you an extra 10 minutes to get somewhere because you have to walk in the snow and make sure you don't fall over like I did last year in my Uggs. Not the best thing to wear going to the car, and I just flipped backwards and I bruised my butt and my ego that day. So, yeah, so try and find something that you'd like to try. Maybe jam's not your jam, but try something. Just anything. That's the beauty of having hobbies, but also a downside. So, yeah. Anywho, what we're going to talk about next, I am going to talk about... So, I did start the Sophie Shawl by PetiteKnit. It was great. It's the simplest pattern, but it's like my brain and its dyslexia couldn't count the rows to then do the increase. So I got to where I needed, and then it was just getting wider and wider and not decreasing. So I frogged it, and I'm going to start again. Because I am the slowest knitter. Like, I dye yarn, and I see other yarn dyers showing all the beautiful things they make. I'm not them. I'm currently getting diagnosed with ADHD, hence why this video is probably like flip-flopping from different things. But that's just how my brain works. It's like a little firework that just like goes off into tangents, and I like it, but I would like a bit more control of it a little bit. But I do like the Sophie Shawl. It's stunning, and I did mine with a sock yarn, a 4-ply, and a Suri silk. I've got some Suri silk because some people find kid silk lace itchy, but that's just personal preference. I like both. But I wanted to put some combos together for you to see. So first up, this is a Suri silk, and this one is called English Meadows. Ain't she pretty? And then I would string it together with a sock yarn, and this is cucumber gin. If you ever make a gin and tonic, put some cucumber in it. You will not be upset. If you don't like cucumber, don't do that. But these two together would be great. So English Meadow and cucumber gin. First up for the Sophie Shawl. Stunning. Second up, another Suri silk. This is satin blush. You're getting 300 meters, which is 328 yards at 50 grams. And this is 74% baby Suri alpaca and 26% mulberry silk. And then I would put this together with Rainbow Crunch. Look at those speckles. You won't be upset if you get that. But together, I think that would make a lovely Sophie Shawl. And again, I have a few more. I've got another cucumber gin again, but this one is with a kid silk lace that's called Magic, and I think they would be really nice together. And then, I don't know if you've seen Barbie. I'm hopefully going to see it soon. But, hey Barbie. The pink shawl of your choice, and this is called Snuggle, and this is kid silk lace. You're getting 420 meters at 459 yards, 50 grams, and this is 72% kid silk lace and 28% silk. If you see my eyes drifting, it's just because I'm reading the ball band, because my memory's not that great. And then I would do this with Kitty Nose. This is 4-ply sock yarn, and that's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. Again, a beautiful pink combo if you like pink. And then my last up, because I don't want to show them all, I want you to go online and check it out and just be inspired. This one is Drag Queen. She is beautiful. I love it. And this is sock yarn. And then I would maybe match this, with the silky sarongs. And this is Suri silk. So again, not kid silk, but Suri silk. And it's super soft and fluffy. Okay, so that's my show and tell for that. I'd like to showcase that I have bought myself some hunky hanks, is what I'm calling them. They're 500 grams, and it's a sport weight, and they're huge. My work husband, Andrew, has them, and I wanted to try them out. I think I only have 3 or 4 left on the website. They're $98, but you could make a garment out of that. You can knit straight off a Swift with it. I would maybe not do that in case you get a knot, so I would then just cake it into 5 100-gram balls. And you are getting 1,200 meters to 1,312 yards at 500 grams. This one is called Green Grass. This is fun. I think if you had another color, it would be great color work. You could do like opposite and maybe do green and then do some like flowers or something and make it pop. And then another one that I have of the hunky hank is the crushed strawberries, and you can see all the different tones. There's like orange, peach, little bits of darker reds, and just a real nice pop of colour. Again, together they would be great. I have a few minis left. This one is called the Witchy Biatch. This is a Halloween mini skein kit, and you get 5 minis at 20 grams. So it's equivalent to a 100-gram skein, but you're getting 5 different little colours going on in here, and they are all fun and glorious. What else did I want to showcase? So I made, I dropped what I wanted to show. That's not so smart. Anyway, when I finished school in October last year from my mini, well, I kind of did have a breakdown, just being burnt out, I dedicated time to just knit, because I hadn't knit for like nearly 2 years, because just school, and you feel like having some downtime from school, you're missing out on doing your schoolwork, so you never actually do the things that you love. Anyway, I purchased some yarn from Hobby, just the white yarn, but the mohair in this is my own. So this is the PetiteKnit Wednesday sweater polo. I didn't take into account that I would need so much kid, and I only had two of this rainbow speckly mohair, so I then colour blocked and went for pink, and I was knitting this at my knitting club at the library that I run, and we had a discussion like, do I colour block or not? So I did this, and I do love it. It's a bit floofy at the minute. It's so cozy and warm, and it just reminds me of like the holiday when like Cameron Diaz wears those really nice sweaters and just looks cozy in the cottage. So this is the Wednesday sweater by PetiteKnit, and I will link that below. This was one I started during COVID and then stopped because I didn't really understand the pattern, and I'm starting to now kind of adapt patterns to how I would want to knit it. Remember, patterns, recipes, everything is a guideline. You don't have to abide by it. You do what feels good. I'm also learning that with sewing. I'm making 2 shirts from 2 different patterns. You can see one here. I'll show that in a bit. And the construction is completely different, but I really do admire construction. That's why I do like knitting shawls, but it's kind of tedious for me because it is just straight. But I like the construction of like top down, bottom up sweaters, because you're learning. There's short rows, there's loads of different things, so you find what you like. Anywho, so this is the AquaMarline by Park Williams, also PetiteKnit. This is a crop in hers, but I wanted it longer because I'm short and crops don't look good on me, personally. So I did a small body, but I did a large body but small sleeve because it was a balloon sleeve, but I didn't want the big balloon sleeve for me, just because I'm short, it doesn't look good, and I have a tendency of dipping my clothes in food, and I didn't want to have crusty sleeves. So that's what I mean. Large body, small arms, like smaller sleeves choice, just because, and it works, and I love it. Don't be twisted. I haven't darned any of the insides in. I can't even, like somewhere in here. It's my secret. Well, not anymore, but you still can't see it, and I didn't want to because there's so many ends. But this is a scrappy jumper that I made from all of my yarn that I've dyed from other dyers, from stuff that I had in my stash, and I love it. I get so many compliments when I wear this, and so many people ask if I will knit them one. I obviously say no because people don't want to pay for hand knits. Maybe some people do, but it's different. I don't want to knit for a business in the sense of making products, because then it will take the joy out of it for me. So that's my personal preference on it. So yep, this is the Park Williams AquaMarline. Again, I will link the pattern below. But if you've got scraps and you don't want to, just do one. Even find a pattern that you like and just do a scrappy version of it. It's amazing. I love using scraps up and just seeing how the colours blend and kind of work, and like also the story of it. Like, who did I get this yarn from? Did someone gift this to me? Like, it's like a love letter to yourself, but with all the different yarns that you used. And I think that's awesome. Okay, last up, because I don't know where I put my other thing that I wanted to show. Anywho, you may have seen this back in 2020 or 21 when I made this. This is the Eve's cardigan by the West Strand sisters, and this is all DK. What's great is you cast on and you knit up, so you're doing it all at the same time, and you're picking up for the sleeve. So there's no like front panel, back panel, sleeve, it's all that. So you start from down here with the rib and then you go on. Don't be like me though, who was just whizzing through the knitting and forgot to include the button band, because then I had to rip it all back. Not my best moment. So yes, Eve's cardigan, West Strand sisters, beautiful. I can do kits on my website for that, but it's just nice to have cardigans sometimes, because you just want something to throw over, like maybe a linen dress or something, and just keep it simple. So yay. And I like my bling buttons. My mum wasn't too keen, but I'm like, I want bling, because that's how I roll. I fell in love with this pattern, but I also found it hard as well, because you have to do 2 I cords for each side and then attach, and it was a lot. And I was doing great until I got to this one, and I didn't put like the toe edge the right way, and it feels awkward when I walk, but it is still a nice pattern. And these are DK socks, and this is called the Batten Slippers by Sarah Opie. I will pop the pattern down below. They are fun. There's a lot of construction. Also, I think I knit these when I had COVID, so this was like 2021, and I just needed to knit, and I'd gone so far, I was like, I don't know if I could undo it and fix it, but at that point, I was just exhausted from COVID, so I was like, nah. But going with the DK socks, which I think are great because they knit up quick, I have some fun DK sock yarn up for grabs. So I've got Neon Lovers, Lavender Lemon Drop, and you get kind of greens and yellows and darker purples in that one. I've got Blueberry Buns. I know I picked the oddest names. That one is a beauty. And then this is my favourite, and I still haven't taken it out of the website yet, because I'm like, I might make myself, but this is Magic Cotton Candy, and it's just beautiful. I love it. And then I have some Mimo Donegal, and I have 2 of this. It's fluorescent yellow. I made a baby hat. I didn't mean to. I was making a hat for a teacher and didn't realise that I cast on for a baby, and in the end I was like, oops. So I gifted that to a friend that's having a little wee baby in September. But this is a really nice one, and you get the little coloured neeps in it. So it's 85% superwash merino and then 15% multicoloured neeps. And this one is called Sunbeam. It's more than a sunbeam, it's like a banana split. So that one. So those are some of the yarns that I've got. I do have another DK, but it's under the table and I don't want to bend and snap. What else have I got? Ooh. These are Cable and Beyond socks, and I have the pattern on my website for $5, people. Come on, it's a bargain. These would make beautiful socks for Christmas presents. Also, this is on yak yarn, and I love it. I have a new yak yarn that's not silver, it's white, and it's got silk in it too, so I'm going to dye some of that up. But they're just really beautiful. and I thank my test knitter for these because she's got beautiful knitting. I've been getting into sewing a bit too. I find that quicker in the summer, especially because projects can be hot on your lap. So this one here, I still need to attach the pocket and the buttons. This is the Bluebird. No, yeah, the Bluebird button-up shirt by. Oh my god, my brain. By Core Closet, I think so. I will link them below. I'm sorry. And I've been enjoying the construction. I did freak out last week because I had to do the burrito roll. If you don't know what I mean, just look on YouTube. And then when you do it, you're like, wow, I did it. So yeah, I'm really into my sewing at the moment. But yeah, so that's kind of what I got so far. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I am planning on making like those little mini sweaters that you make for Christmas and like selling those. And I also have dryer balls as well on my website. So if you have those plastic ones that bang around and are noisy, it's there to make your laundry better. But with the beauty of the wool ones are they're quiet. You can add up to 8 to 10 drops of essential oils on them to make your laundry smell nice. And after 1,000 uses, you can put them in the compost and they'll break down because it's fibre and it's an organic matter. I hand make all of those. I can usually make 10 in an hour, and I made 80. It might have taken me longer than that for those ones. And I've got some coloured ones. Even though the fibre is colourful, it's not going to leak onto your clothes. And they are $1. No, they're not. It's one for $8 or two for $15. And you can order them on my website. And they are... What am I saying? Completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But they're ready to ship. I have some bags that I've made, some market bags, but I haven't put them on the website yet because trying to get good lighting. But maybe today I'll do it. I'll pop outside and fill them up with some laundry balls for you to see and put them on the website. My main aim at the moment, I guess, for Mimo is to build my online sales for you beautiful people, making it affordable for everyone, and also wholesale. So if you beautiful human know of any companies within Canada or the US that have a local yarn shop that you think my product would look good in or would fit the quirkiness that I am, please share this video to them or send me their details and let's like reach out, because I don't want to give up on doing yarn dyeing. I love it, and I do love the community within it. It's unique, and we've all got a story of why we started. It's either through family or like trying to keep traditions alive and things like that. So if you're a wholesaler and you would like to buy some Mimo yarn, please email me at themimoyarnco@gmail.com and I will get back to you. Apologies, my stomach is grumbling. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed my first video back after like 2 years. The way that it's gonna go is I am gonna do more videos. I'm gonna maybe video myself. I'd say a video myself dyeing yarn. When I signed up to start a business, there wasn't so much reels and videos and all the things, and I am overwhelmed by it. I would love to do it, but genuinely it's like I have 5,000 tabs open in my mind and it's a lot, and I'd want to share that with you, but there's just some stuff I can't do it all. Like literally I just can't. So I'll try my best to include what I make and do videos of behind the scenes, but I also will be interviewing locals and people abroad about their businesses, what they do, what they enjoy doing, what's their favourite food, what would be their desert island meal or death row meal. I don't know, whatever way you'd like me to phrase that, let me know in the comments. What got people inspired in their business? Why did they want to do it? What's the pros and what's the cons? What's one thing in your art medium that you don't enjoy doing? Me? I don't like kitchen stitch. Just putting it out there. What else would I be talking about? What is something that brings you joy from your art craft, and why? Like, why are you so passionate about it? What makes you do it? Are there certain things that you do as a craft for yourself that people have said you want to start in a business that you don't want to because it's your personal passion? As much as I love making market bags, I like sewing for me. Like, we live in a very rural place and there's not lots of clothing that I would personally buy, so I'm making my own wardrobe of what I'd like. And remember this, people, clothes are not supposed to fit your body. No, that's not how it goes. I forgot the saying. Clothes are supposed to fit your body, not you fit the clothes. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. I'm learning this. Like, since COVID, I have put on weight. This is the biggest I've ever been. I don't like it. And I'm not very well at the minute. I kind of got this weird bug that keeps making me dizzy. But I'm purposely trying to be more active. I downloaded, if you follow Yoga with Adriana, she's got an app and I'm trying that out and I really enjoy it. One of my roommates at the Okanagan Knitting Retreat, Carla, I had two Carlas, one with a K, one with a C, would do yoga, and she recommended it, and I have been doing it. You'll even see I've got a feet up poster here because I have one of those chairs where you flip upside down and you can do the yoga poses. So, small little increments. You can't do it all at once, and you can't just like. So yeah, what else happened? Oh, I got kittens, Gus and Momo. I love them, but they're crazy. I literally had to get off FaceTime from my mum and put one of my plants in the plant hospital because Momo was chewing it. She's killing my babies. So, and I've even had to put all my plants in my room because she keeps doing that. Yeah, not the best, but it's alright. They're living. But yeah, so I've digressed. It's been my first podcast back and I don't want to go over an hour, so I'm going to stop now. I love you. Please like and subscribe. If there's anything that you would like me to talk about or things that are of interest or book recommendations, because I work at a library, I can borrow it, let me know. One thing I would say, if you can, is get yourself a copy of Fourth Wing. I watched the Grocery Girls and they were talking about Fourth Wing. I didn't get the book, I got the audio because that's just how my brain's working at the minute, and audio is easier for me. And it finished, and I was at work, and I was raging because it ended. I was like, no! You know, like when it's the best book, and then you try and read something new, but it doesn't hit the same. And I was like, when's the next one out? November. It's not out until November. It's July. Well, it's August tomorrow, so I guess I'm closer to it, but I can't wait that long. It's so good. So, Fourth Wing. Do it. I'll link that below too. But I love you. I hope you have a great day. I know that crafting is good for the soul, and my belly should stop grumbling. Just do you and be happy and smiley and giggly and just all the things. And there is no pressure. If you don't finish something or you got whips, don't worry about it. Maybe finish one whip and then start something else. I am on a pattern ban again, you know what I'm like. And also, I am trying to finish things. I'm trying to finish, I got one sock of a pair to finish. I'm literally just doing like the leg bit and then the top, and I'm done. But you get a bit bored sometimes. I know. Anywho, I love you. Have a great day. I'll be back soon. I'm not going to set a date because then I'll stress myself out. But I know I'm recording one this week with Brett Mellon. Woohoo! Oh, I just hit myself in the face. That is not cool. Anywho, love you. Type soon. Leave me a comment. Anything. I love you. Bye!